It's like, what are you laughing at? You're laughing at me like that. No. It's Halloween today, so I have my face
Did you go
painted.
collect candy? Did you go collect candy with your little guy?
No, we can't do that this year because there's all like coronavirus restrictions at the moment in Ireland.
Okay. Okay.
We're doing different things.
Is it?
I'm gonna hide candy like Easter. We're mixing Easter and Halloween together.
That's great. That's great. Is there a whole get up that you're wearing, or did you just paint your
No,
face?
just my face, and I have a witch's hat. I don't know where I put it now. And I also had my lips painted black, but I took it off. I thought that would be a bit much. But I didn't want to wash my face. It's like too much effort.
Right. Can I take a photo?
Sure, if
Can I
you
take
want.
a photo? I've got a screen capture here.
I have to do
Let me
something
go a little.
scary, like
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll give you a minute to strike a pose. Give me a second here. All
even
right. Ready?
ready to
Yeah. So I got this
do
one.
that.
That's great. That's great. I'll send that back to you. Well, our time change is tonight, tomorrow morning. So um,
Okay.
I don't have an excuse with the time. I really did just oversleep. So I just want
That's
to
fine.
assure you
That's
there's
okay.
no other drama happening.
That's right. So is it like 8 a.m. there now?
Yeah,
Or
a little after, right?
yeah. Oh, that's good. So it worked out well
Oh,
because
I'm
you didn't
glad.
know about the time change. So if you hadn't have slept, you would have been here an hour earlier, and I wouldn't have been here.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
it's
good.
actually see, life is like looking after everything. How perfect. You don't even need to remember meetings or anything.
Oh,
hmm
so happy to see you.
Happy to see you too.
Even if you do look like a scary witch who's going to hurt me.
Yeah. No, I'm a good witch.
You're a good
I
witch.
just walked into a cobweb.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. So we had at work we have a floating holiday actually. So that floating holiday meant that we um, got yesterday off.
hmm
So my whole day was a little bit random yesterday. So it was a 3-day weekend, which is great. But
Oh, that sounds nice.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
it was. And what's going on here? I think the big thing is Mrs. Steve is having a new hip in a couple of weeks.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's on a Wednesday the 11th, which is actually it's Thursday the 12th, but Wednesday the 11th is actually it's a federal holiday for Veterans Day,
hmm
and it's also Sophia's birthday. My younger one's turning 21, so
Wow.
she'll do that surgery the next day, and then I'm actually off the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, so I can be around the house helping.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so when you get a new hip, they try to
Mhm.
stand you up like right away after, and she may be home Friday after the Thursday surgery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very quick to think you have a new joint and you're standing on it and going home the next
Wow.
day.
Oh,
So that's kind of what's up here.
yeah. It'll probably take her a lot of time to recuperate, though, will it? Like at home.
She's got 8 weeks off of work,
Yeah.
so I have to get her a bell to ring when she
No, yeah.
needs something.
That's good. It's a great opportunity for service.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I'll make the best of it.
Yeah. Hmm. I'm sure you're serving each other all the time anyway. Extra.
It's yeah, it's like we're just sort of siblings now, siblings who
Yeah.
really
Mhm.
love each other. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
um we've definitely looking back now, we've certainly grown up together,
Yeah.
but we look around and say, oh, 2 kids, a
Yeah.
house,
Well,
retirement lined up. it's
yeah.
it's good, it's good. Yeah, we're patting each other on the back a lot,
Yeah.
to celebrate.
Yeah.
She knew. I joke that she knew me when I had hair. Yeah.
I was listening to Ram Dass talking. I never listened to him talking before, but for some reason I was listening to it, like a talk of his. I don't know when it was from, but I thought it was really beautiful. It was like I don't know the title, but it was something about Bhakti. Like, I don't know, they used the word Bhakti. So then he kind of said, there's lots of different Bhakti relationships, like between a husband and wife, or a mother and child, or a disciple and a guru. I just thought it was beautiful. Like, it's really like he was just listing all the relationships that you could kind of have in your life, like all the more meaningful relationships. Like, they're all the same in a way, and they're all an opportunity really to serve God, or like that. Because sometimes I suppose, like, we know that, but like often, like, I feel it mostly in like relation to guru, because like that's like the most obvious one. But it's so beautiful to be reminded that it's everywhere. It's like between like husband and wife, and mother and child, and even like my mother is like probably my greatest teacher at the moment, because like she presses she presses my buttons, and like she's really pushing me to love her as she is, like, and it's not easy. And I guess that because it's not easy, that's what makes me say like she's a great teacher, because if it's easy, it doesn't feel like a lesson. If you're already good at something, you don't need the lesson in a way. So it's like when you're not good at it, that's when you need the lesson. And sometimes we don't want to learn, and it takes, but life doesn't care if you want to learn or not. It's like life is given the lesson regardless. So it's like that. It's like you can accept the lesson and try your best or not. But no, just, I don't know, somehow I was just reminded when you were talking about your wife, and you have this opportunity to serve her. That's nice.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I started out being a little bit condescending and cynical about some of her attitudes, which I've come to learn are very typically German. I mean, she's very industrious, but she's almost incapable of speculation. And now, almost 40 years later, I can see where a non-speculative approach to things like finances has been sort of wise. I've always earned a little more money than her, so we've always had that competition. But in the last few years, she's drawn equal. And the truth is, the work that she does is much harder than the work that I do. But because she's a woman, women tend to get paid just generally less across the board here in the States. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but women are still a few years away from becoming equal in pay for jobs that are similar or harder. And we do completely different things, but hers is, to my mind, very, very difficult. Maybe she thinks mine's more difficult. I don't know. Yeah, so that's been interesting to see. Maybe the ability to be wildly speculative isn't so marvelous now, 40 years later. But it's really good. It's really good, and she's feeling a very strong pull to go back to Europe. If not to Germany, then somewhere, which is kind of why we're sort of agreeing on Portugal for now. Yeah,
I know plenty of people who live in Portugal.
Yeah, I know you do. I know.
Seems to be drawing lots of people.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we'll be among them. I'm actually taking Portuguese lessons now online.
Okay.
So soon I'll speak a handful of words.
It's not the worst idea to just spend, it's a good use of time, isn't it? To learn a language.
Yeah, I think so. Or to, wake up early on a Saturday morning and meet with a woman dressed as a witch.
Yeah.
She knows all about us. You're not my spiritual secret, my spiritual friend's secret.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I tell her that we've met and that it's beautiful, and she's seen you and me on the YouTube here and there, and uh, she says you're hard to understand, but I don't know how that could be.
Yeah, lots of people say I'm hard to understand. Don't seem to have a problem, so it's good. My teacher in Anta is always slagging me.
He's slacking you?
Yeah, he often slags him, like playfully. Playfully slag. You know the word slag?
Okay, so I heard. Sorry, there's this funny joke that you said the word I didn't understand. No, so we have an application, a program called Slack.
Oh, okay.
So in the States, when you're slacking, it means you're not working very hard.
Oh, yeah, no.
And so if you're my teammate, you're my fellow slacker, and so we're sort of joshing each other. But he's slagging you, which means giving you a hard time.
Yeah, no, teases maybe is the best word.
Teasing. Okay.
He teases me like about that. Nobody can understand me and everything. And I think he said he used to not be able to understand me in the beginning, but now he can.
Oh, well, you tell him that Steve can't understand him because he's hiding his mouth in his beard.
Okay.
I can't read his lips. Yeah, I can't read his lips because he's got them hidden. I mean, he's speaking clearly enough, but my hearing isn't good enough to really pick it out.
Okay, interesting. I'll tell him.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
No, but I can understand Amba just fine. Not to worry. You're speaking clearly enough.
That's good.
Yeah.
I do mumble though, I know. I'm a bit of a mumbler. So what chapter are we on? 12?
We're on chapter 12, and there's a lot of repetition, and it seems like Ribu is preparing the ground. It's like unhooking, 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 unhooking. And then in verse 29, it changes.
Okay. Can we read an unhooking verse first? Oh, there's a knock on the door. I just have to go because I think my mother got locked in the garden. Sorry. Back in a second.
Okay.
That wasn't my mother, it was my little boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Everything okay?
Yeah, they were just
good.
The key.
Good.
Okay, so should we read an unhooking verse first? I like that.
So 26, 27, 28, that's beautiful repetition, and that may be a place to start. What's your sense of it?
Let's read 27 because it's right in front of my eyes. Brahman itself appears as delusion. Brahman itself appears as ignorance. Brahman itself appears as thought. Brahman itself appears as the world. Brahman itself appears as the individual. Brahman itself appears as the Lord. Brahman itself appears as the Guru. Brahman itself appears as the disciple. Brahman itself appears as Brahma, the creator. Brahman itself appears as Hari, the sustainer. Brahman itself appears as Hara, the destroyer. Brahman itself appears as the gods. Brahman itself appears as creation. Brahman itself appears as existence. Brahman itself appears as dissolution. Brahman itself appears as all.
we could almost end there.
For sure. That's all we need.
But
But no, go
but
ahead.
but the effect of Ribu having done, what we just did,
Mm-hmm.
multiply it by 15,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be the effect here.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's almost like he's referring back to the last 28 verses. He says, all things appearing otherwise, wherever, in whatever way seen, are Brahman, of the nature of knowledge, and the substratum of all everywhere, and nothing apart from Brahman. Wherever waves and such are seen, these are only the ocean. Could they be anything apart? Whatever appearances are seen, wherever, are likewise Brahman, and nothing apart. The numerous waves rising and falling in the ocean of water are only a modification of water. Has anyone seen any other state in between? The waves of the phenomenal world and anything else, rising and subsiding in the ocean of Brahman consciousness, being also only that Brahman consciousness, truly cannot be anything else in between. There's Amba's voice in my mind, hearing
Mm-hmm.
Ribu, and there's also Nome's voice, hearing
Mm-hmm.
hearing Ribu, because he recorded chapters 1 through 12 on the CDs years ago, and he had to stop because he got severe Parkinson's. He doesn't speak so well anymore, but it's really, really beautiful.
You know what's going on is just, what it's saying. Like everything is brand, and when it, even if it looks different, like it might be a wave, but it's really the ocean. It's like that. Like somehow it's having the impression here that when we're really clear about that, like I am the source of everything, or like the source is here, then it's really obvious that everything that's seen comes from that source. And because we see the source, like, and it comes from there, so it has to be made from there. So it makes us not afraid of the world anymore. So even if something looks scary, we don't have to be as afraid. In our humanity, we tend to be afraid to look at certain things, or like it often it's like when we have a certain feeling, or it could be a certain story in the world, but we're just like afraid to turn towards it. And the reason why I'm saying this is someone from my past wrote to me during the week, and they were saying they just wrote a big long message, and then part of the message they said that mostly what's happening with them at the moment is they're just facing their demons. And then I wrote back and I was like, oh yeah, that's really great. I said, like, I feel like that's the job of life, facing our demons. But like it becomes much easier when you're really, you know who you are. Like you're connected with your kind of like the essence underneath, because then you know that there's actually nothing to be afraid of. And if all of these words are for anything, I feel like that's what they're for, really, because they're for a human in a way, because they're not for the self, because the self doesn't need, like, I know everything is the self, but just on a kind of another level, they're kind of for the part of us that has believed ourselves to be something else, to, like, the word you use, to unhook, because the part of us that is Brahman doesn't need that. And so the part of us that does need it is the part of us that got caught up in the waves and believed ourselves to be a wave.
Mm. Mm.
Oh yeah, I think I was going to say something else.
Say again?
I think I was going to say something else. I think it was leading somewhere.
Well, let me read another. Maybe something else will come. Like the axiom that all modifications of earth are only earth, all modifications of water are only water, and all modifications of space are only space. So all the world, individuals, and the Supreme, being in Brahman consciousness, are only Brahman. Like the axiom that the thief seen in the tree due to fear is only just the tree. The axiom that the silver seen in misconception in the nakra is only nakra. And the axiom that the serpent seen in the rope in the darkness is ever only the rope. So the differentiation of the world and beings seen in Brahman is completely always Brahman. So the idea of the sorry, I just saw a witch.
Yeah. It's okay, she's just Brahmin.
She's just a superimposition, an appearance in consciousness. And I am that. You know, when the identification sort of comes home, and the meaning comes through of, you know, what is a superimposition. There's a letting go. It's a beautiful relaxing. Like, oh, yeah. As I just want to read one more, and then I promise I'll be quiet. As all superimpositions everywhere are only the substratum thereof, so the world and beings, the superimpositions seen as adhering on the substratum of Brahman, are only the supreme Brahman, the enduring substratum. This is the ultimate conclusion of the crest of the Vedas. The conclusion, graciously expounded by Shiva, is this: the experience of the enlightened is also this.
I loved when it said the creator, the destroyer, and the sustainer all are Brahma. It's like everything that happens in this whole play, all of it is Brahma. You know, because it's like there's a seeker, and then there's a finder, or there's like a guru and disciple, like all the, or whatever, all the roles and all the things that happen within your consciousness, like all of that is just the play of Brahman, and that's it. Like there's nothing. There's nothing. There's just nothing. And then even like that sense of, then you can be like I am Brahman, or I'm this, or I'm that. Like all of that is like a play as well. I don't know. It's just like there's just nothing. It almost like saying that, it's just saying everything is Brahman. It's just like canceling everything out. It's like canceling everything. It's just, or it's like, I don't know, it feels like it's like waving peace everywhere or something. I don't know why my hand is doing like this. It's like waving peace across the earth or something. Because I don't really, like most people, you know, I don't think in terms of Brahman and creator, destroyer, sustainer. Like mostly you just see what's inside you, you know, you see, and then you try to add words to that if you're talking with someone. But mostly it doesn't really have words. But like you just see like different energies coming. Maybe you see a seeker, like you want to, or maybe you sometimes have that yearning for God or to be one with God, or you see all of it. And then like you just see really it always just comes back to like just that sense of I. Like, so like you just feel like I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing this and I'm seeing that. I'm seeing this and I'm seeing that. But like even that sense of I is just nothing. It's like just like it's just kind of an imagination, you know. It's literally just an imagination.
Can we say it's bubbling up?
Bubbling up. People, I used to live in England for a while in London, and people used to always get me to say 33 and a third. They used to think it was hilarious. And I didn't actually understand at the time that like a third is like a poo. I just thought that they thought it was funny the way I said third, because they say like, I can't even say it the way they say. Like they say third, third. I can't even say. So they say, will you say 33 and a third? I'm like, yeah, 33 and a third. And then just laugh, and I'd laugh with them.
Mm.
So even thinking all is Brahmin, like even that's like too much. Even that thought like feels like too much. It's too much. Like it's just like too much. It's like even like burdensome to have to hold on to that. Like we don't have to hold on to anything at all. Like it's interesting to look because we can't help but see everything that happens inside us. But there's no words really. There isn't even really any words for all what we see inside us. And everybody's experience is probably like a little bit different. Maybe we try to meet with words, but we can't really meet with words, and actually we really meet without words. That's when you really even feel more connected. Like even through the computer, like we can feel more connected when we're letting go of words. And then also you can understand words that you wouldn't even understand. If you listen to someone speaking in a different language, but they're speaking from the heart, you can probably understand them, like, and feel totally connected to them. Because it's really not about words, even though we try with words all the time. But really, it's just when we just let go of all the ideas, especially the idea of me. That's it. Then it's just like, then I could add words, but it'd just be adding words. It's better to just like be there, be here. Then you're just like in. And that's like the only thing that's true. Then there's all this dance, this dance of like waves, the dance of like differences, all of this. And like it's just fine. Like we have to just kind of let that play. Because it's like if you start trying to like think, oh, I have to hold on to just the complete like nothingness almost, or like emptiness, or like you really just want your experience to be that alone. Because when you focus your attention there, it can feel so beautiful, and you just get full of love and joy. But like it's not realistic even to experience only that. We're experiencing everything, like all them waves. We don't have to hold on to anything. We don't have to hold on to an experience because it's always here. It's like the fundamental. We wouldn't be able to experience anything without it. And we don't need any experience. Like no experiences. Like it's not that no experience is good. I'm like tempted to say like no experience is good. But like in a way, every experience is good only because the truth is here. Like nothing would be good if it wasn't like coming from the truth and made of truth and like of the truth. It wouldn't be good at all. So in a way, you could say nothing is good, or you could say like everything is good, like every experience or no experience. Yeah, they're kind of like both the same, or they're both kind of irrelevant. So it's just that like we can't fight experience or the waves, because I feel like as humans we try to do that in a way, like we try to, especially even in spirituality. It's almost like you hear about this idea of like enlightenment or something, and it sounds like a wonderful magical thing. And it's like then it's like it's not of the world, so then, oh, that means I have to completely shun the world and get rid of everything and stop everything. It's like we get into that for a while, but then it's like, no, we don't even have to do that. We can just be completely open to everything, and we can completely be pulled into the middle of a drama, even like either good or bad, and it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't even matter. It doesn't like touch us or change us or anything. And we don't need to remember with our minds. It doesn't really matter if our minds remember. Like maybe sometimes it seems like our minds remember, and sometimes it seems like our mind forgets. But like it really doesn't matter. Like because our hearts don't need to remember.
It's feeling so great to keep quiet.
Well, you're welcome to talk. I talk. I probably talk too much. I'd love to hear you talking.
Well, what came was, and I know I mentioned this before, but this sense of the presence of the unworthy one, this, feeling bad, feeling guilty, feeling inadequate, while it's also another part of feeling great, feeling awesome, feeling powerful, that when the sort of the old habit or conditioning to go towards the unworthy one and to give it some play and to feel bad or guilty, there's sort of like it's that conditioning has been like unraveled, the threads that held it together have just been sort of pulled clear. And it's beautiful not to go there, whereas in the past it could have happened. It seems so much less likely now. It's like you shine enough light into the darkness kind of gets it and fades. It stays faded. How about this? So the last verse ended with, the experience of the enlightened is also this. Hence, there is not an atom apart from Brahman. All is ever only Brahman. What gets submerged in the ocean of birth and death due to bad vasanas, tendencies, impressions, ideas, notions, as an individual, jiva, is only Brahman. What experiences listening and other means due to good vasanas is only Brahman. What remains is Brahman, rid of fear due to the vasana of non-difference, is also only Brahman. Last satsang, Hanuman said that he likes to use his mind to sort of entertain himself, and he'll try to go to sleep laughing. Now I'll go to sleep saying 33 and a third.
I find it so hard to say. I can't even say it like the English way. Third, third. Just so easy to say third.
That's what it is. How about this? It is only Brahman that performs the daily and occasional rites toward an end as prescribed. It is only Brahman that obtains purity of mind by such actions. It is only Brahman that practices well, listening with a pure mind. It is only Brahman that practices well, reflection, constantly, with devotion. Yeah, that empty spaciousness.
Mm.
And yes, you say it's available all the time and it's always here, but it
Mm.
seems so much more present when we're meeting. It's
Mm.
beautiful.
It is wonderful when we notice it more and more and more. And I suppose that's the whole point. And in a way, like, you read all these things. Some people read them for like years and years and years and do practices for years and years, and maybe like nothing happens. And some people do, and like it happens like straight away. So I don't know if there's anything you can actually really do at all to like notice the truth, really. But maybe it is like that. Like the more you're focusing your attention, you're kind of, it's almost like you're telling life, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. And it is a real true desire because it's in touch with who we are. So it's like, yeah, so it's almost like I'm saying like the opposite. There's nothing you can do, but there is something you can do. So you can't really make it happen, but you can keep saying, I want it, I want it, I want it. So just like that, like reminding ourselves we're Brahman or whatever the practice is, it doesn't really matter really what it is. But I suppose then we notice more and more and more. We notice that, I suppose, just that we're not getting caught up in stories, or that we're not believing ourselves to be an idea quite so much. And yeah, like we're noticing I don't know if this is the right word, but we're noticing like the substratum of everything. Or I don't know if that's the right explanation, but like we're noticing just what's underneath more and more. And you can't really do that by will alone, but maybe you can. So I don't know if you can or if you can't. It's definitely not it's definitely not in opposition to just have that will to notice. And that's what this says, isn't it? Have the certitude, and that's enough. So it's like just be sure, be sure, be sure. Yeah. So we'll take Rubu as our goal, and say, yeah, we'll just be sure and remind ourselves. And the only way you can remind yourselves is not with words, but actually by checking, because otherwise it's not real. Like it's not, there's no point to it. It's just like an idea. But actually like just checking and noticing. And there's nothing even you have to do for that. You just stop everything for a second. That's it. Mhm.
Can I describe it as turning awareness back on itself? Can you comment on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really, I can't really say that myself, but I've heard it like that because I don't think you can really turn awareness. Like my description would be more like people say like turning attention back on itself. So rather than like your attention, like we're usually looking out at either looking out at objects in the world or even looking out at like emotions or sensations in our body, but still kind of looking out. So instead of looking out, then we turn it around and look in. But I don't really think you turn it around and look in. You just stop putting it out. Like that's how I experience it more. It's like if you imagine it as a light, like shining out like that, rather than just focusing it like that. It's more like that. It's allowed to be open. So in that way, it's allowed to come back. So it's not that it's not shining out there anymore because it can't not shine there. It's not like you can turn off the light and like that, or it's not like you can really turn it around and come back. It's just that it's not completely focused. So, like I can choose to focus on my hand, or even if my hand is there, I can just relax my attention, and you kind of become more, your attention becomes more inclusive of everything. Maybe what's like my feeling that's here, and just kind of everything. Like, and then in that way, you kind of, your attention kind of comes home to the awareness that's there. I suppose that's what I'm gonna say.
No, that's beautiful. Here I was trying to define it.
No,
And you
like
just kind of, no, you beautifully just swept it away. It's beautiful. It's fun.
it's not like that though, because everyone says it in different ways. Like it's not like I hope I didn't say like your way is like the wrong way or something.
No.
Because that's like terrible.
No,
I have
no.
heard that. Is that
But no, the function here, maybe for both of us, is you're holding up the mirror, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so it's impossible not to see, trying to put a frame around
Yeah.
something.
And certain words like speak to us as that. So you kind of have to speak in your own words that make sense to you. So like my words make sense to me, but my words might not make sense to anyone else. And maybe my words make sense to you, and that's why we meet. Like, but maybe if I'm speaking with someone else, maybe they don't use that same language and those same words, so they need to listen to someone else. Who knows it?
I was so moved by the picture of you and Aradhana on Facebook. There was two. There's Eyes Closed and Eyes Open.
Mm-hmm.
And an old friend from India, maybe?
Yeah, we were very full of love right then because we were just outside a Krishna temple. So we visited the Krishna temple in Bangalore, and I don't know, I think I'd known her for a while, like on the internet. I don't know if it was our first time meeting each other. Maybe it was like we'd known each other for a few years and we'd done some seva online. So we loved each other very much. But like it was one of the very beginning times where we met and we got to be in each other's company and we spent time in the like I have a really huge, big, strong love for Krishna. So I just spent like time in this Krishna temple and we were both and there was probably I think there was another girl there as well. She took the picture. And Andy. So we were all just like blissed out really. Krishna love. Yeah.
I could definitely feel something special. It's
that's
beautiful.
what you see in that picture is like Krishna love.
And today I get the love of a not so evil witch.
Well, thank you for our time together. I really appreciate it. And lots of love and blessings for your wife's operation. Is it in the next few days?
It's on the 12th, so we're a couple weeks out, but making arrangements.
Yeah, so I hope everything goes well for her and in the operation and afterwards.
Thank you. Like, yes,
easy transition.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. So maybe next week, if it's possible, I'll confirm with you for Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, good. Yeah, let's confirm on. Let's say I actually don't know right now, but yeah, we'll confirm closer to the time.
Okay. Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.